Hello and welcome to Drum Forest Drum Gaming. I am back with a little bit of a Rainbow Six and I'm joined by Jamie today.
Hello.
How are we doing, Jamie?
I'm good, thank you. I sounded very Irish there. Hello.
Hello there.
Hello there. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Ah, good. So how's your day been, Jamie?
It's been very good, thank you. I just had some lovely dinner.
Yeah, what'd you have?
I had a chicken burger, which was delicious. It's called the Double Ringer, which I find to be a very odd name.
The Double Ringer.
Yeah, because it's got 2 onion rings in it.
Interesting.
But it was delicious.
It does sounds like a good burger.
How was your date, been?
Yeah, no, pretty good. I had a pork escalope for dinner.
No double ringer for you then?
No double ringer for me, unfortunately. Although the double ringer sounds delicious.
It was.
It was?
It was good.
Like super good?
Super good.
Excellent.
Don't know why I'm whispering.
I don't know either. I have no idea.
No idea.
No idea. So Jamie.
Yes.
We've got to disarm a bomb.
Yay!
Disarm the bomb.
The bomb.
The bomb. If this guy ever loads in. But,
Come on, Jackal.
But you know, it happens. It happens.
It happens to me often.
Not too often. Not too.
More often than not. I feel like I'm always the one everyone's waiting for.
No, I wouldn't say so. Oh, excuse me. Big ol' yawn. Big ol' yawn. Alright.
I'm tired.
I'm a little tired, you could say that.
Oh, I was going to the wrong building then.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. My Miss American Pie. Oh, the Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Oh,
Well, I can see a bomb.
Well, that's good. I have just been flashbanged.
Me too.
So, I had a question for you today, Jamie.
Whoa, says a bomber! Yeah, sorry. Carry on.
In your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything in particular that makes a good boss fight? Like a memorable boss fight?
I'm not quite sure. I love having a good area to run around so you can kind of play with the boss a little bit, you know?
Yeah, nice.
I feel like that makes it fun. So you can draw it out a little bit, have more fun with it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. A good area in a boss fight is always needed. How do you feel about, in the area, there being sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, things like pitfalls or lava or spikes, things that can damage you in the area. How do those make you feel in a boss fight? Do you think
See, I feel like that would frustrate me.
Yeah? Do you not feel it may... Because here's a prime example, and I'm going back a bit here. But
diffuse is activated.
Yes.
Oh, you're over there. Never mind. Sorry.
Prime example is if you go back many years, to Sonic, the Sonic games, and I'm talking the original Sonic games, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, on that good old Sega Mega Drive / Genesis, whatever name you want to give it. A lot of the boss fights were orientated, not sure what the word is I'm looking for there, around sort of differences in the area. So you had some of them, it was all about jumping on certain things that are in lava, or there being spikes around, or water that you would fall in and die.
Yeah.
So I mean, I suppose it probably depends on the game, really. But I do agree with you. I mean, I have had some boss fights where You know, those kinds of things are very infuriating.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, if like lava or whatever is part of the storyline maybe, or like you said, like there's different ones that you have to do. Maybe lava's one, maybe like, I don't know if you had to do ice or something that you had to deal with, just different things like that.
Yeah.
I think I'd be more inclined to enjoy it. Whereas if it was just, I don't know, like a lot of lava all the time or just frustrating things all the time, I think I'd get quite annoyed.
That's fair enough. Do you feel that maybe size of the boss makes, like, do you think that equates to a good boss fight? So maybe like the bigger the boss, the better it can be. Prime examples on that one. I mean, you could look at. I'm really sorry. I've completely. It's on the edge of my tongue.
You can do it. Oh, I was killed.
Shadow of Colossus. Oh, you were killed?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, that's Shadow of Colossus. Now that game is pretty much purely a boss fight game.
Alright, okay.
It's a game. There were no NPCs or anything. You go around and you fight 16 colossi, I think it is. I think it's 16. And the whole game is based around you. You have a stamina meter and you've got to climb up these bosses and find the place to attack them and that hurts them.
That's pretty cool.
I suppose another good example actually is Monster Hunter. Obviously, they start off fairly small, and then they seem to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you think that has any equation into whether it's a good boss fight or not? Or do you think sometimes when a boss fight gets too big, it loses its... it gets a bit sort of silly, do you think at all?
Possibly. I don't think size plays too much of a role in it. I feel like you could have a good boss fight either way with like a small boss or a big boss. But yeah, when you start getting like too big, I think it does become a bit ridiculous. But I don't think it would stop you having like a good boss fight.
That's fair enough. I can understand that.
What are your views on that?
My views, I think if it's done well, I mean, it's one of these things that I think could be quite difficult. I think, because sometimes if a boss gets too big, I think a lot of things end up becoming, a lot of it ends up becoming quick time events.
Yeah.
Prime example, Asura's Wrath. The boss eventually, the final boss becomes so big that his finger is bigger than the earth.
Right.
And he tries to crush you with it, and it becomes all sort of about quick time events. And I feel quick time events for bosses lose it. I don't think quick time events make a good boss fight.
Yeah.
Prime example of that one actually, and I think there's a lot of people who agree with me on this, is Lord of the Rings: Shadow of Mordor. Now I personally, and once again I think a lot of people agree with me, that is an awesome game. I loved the combat, I loved the setting, I felt the world could have been a bit bigger, but I feel also for the fact it was like the first, like they're bringing out the second one soon, apparently that is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
But I felt it did what it needed to, and there was enough stuff in there to really keep me enthralled. And you go through this whole game, and you're about to come to the final boss, and it's a quick time event.
Right.
You've gone through this whole game like assassinating and taking on loads of people and controlling people and taking over animals and trolls and riding trolls, and then this final boss who killed your wife and killed you and turned you into who you are ends with a quick time event.
So it's just like a big disappointment kind of thing.
Yeah, it sucks it all out. It sucks away all the enjoyment of it.
Well, that's a shame.
I felt, and it was a real shame because I loved that game. I really enjoyed that game. Playing that. I had a really good time playing that. And yeah, it was a real shame. What's your view on sort of the length of a boss fight?
See, I feel like there would be a happy medium kind of thing. I don't want to go on and on for ages. I really don't. I get impatient easily. So I don't want to be doing, having to circle for ages and having it just drag on and on.
So what's your timing, would you say? What's the length you would think is where it starts to get too long?
Ooh, I don't know. I suppose it depends if a lot is happening. Obviously, the time's going to go quicker. Whereas if it's dragging on a bit, I'm going to get bored faster. But yeah, I wouldn't really know about like an optimal time.
Okay, let me put this to you. I'm going to put 2 Final Fantasy games to you. And I'm going to tell you about these 2 bosses from them. So, first off, I'm going to tell you about Final Fantasy 12. Okay, this came out a fair few years ago. It was on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I personally really enjoyed it.
Okay.
And there is the hardest boss in that game. Yasmut. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And it takes a minimum of an hour to kill him, and that is for exceedingly skilled players.
Right, okay.
And when I say that, I mean like the general time it takes to kill him is usually about 2 hours. I even know some people who have taken up to 5 hours to kill this one boss.
That is insane.
Yeah. And this boss, when we say he's insane, he has over 50 million HP.
Wow.
Like, would you say that's too much?
Oh yeah, that's
yeah. So that would be way past your point. Would you say even an hour is too much?
Yeah. See, I'd say like half an hour, 45 minutes. I could do.
Okay, I'm down there attacking the diffuser. Sorry to interrupt you. Okay,
right.
I'm still down. There's a bunch of people in here, so be careful. Another one, the other one is from Final Fantasy 15. So, spoilers for anyone who hasn't played it. I can honestly say I have not played it. So, it's kind of a spoiler for me, but I sort of just see things and I just generally know. But I haven't spoiled the storyline for myself. And this is, basically, in the game you get these things called hunts, where you hunt down monsters. And basically, I think it's the final hunt, you fight this thing called an adamantoise, which is actually a staple enemy that pops up in all of them. But this time, they've made it so it's literally the size of a mountain. Like, a mountain is on its back. That's how big this thing is. Now, this thing is about a 2-hour fight. And
I don't really know where to put this, sorry for interrupting.
It's alright, just put it anywhere.
Right, I'm just going to put it in.
And this one has over 5 million health. And yeah, it's about a 2-hour fight.
Right, okay.
Altogether. So, I mean, I personally feel, I reckon if I was playing it, I'd probably, Final Fantasy 15 I reckon I'd try and go for. Final Fantasy 12, I wouldn't bother, personally. I don't think I could spend that long on a boss. I reckon Final Fantasy 15, I would go for. 2 hours, I don't think would be too much for me.
Yeah, I feel like an hour and a half would be pushing it for me.
Yeah?
I think so. Obviously, it depends. Like I said, if a lot is going on, I feel like I might be distracted for more of the time, kind of thing.
That's fair enough.
You did?
I just died, yes.
Oh. Yeah, I died too. I was trying to watch you. But yeah, if it's kind of dragging on, where I can really notice the length of time, because like it's taking forever to do anything, then yeah, I'd definitely get bored very quickly.
I think that's fair enough. Okay, here's an interesting one. Now, for me personally, I always find this one really annoying, and I hate it when it happens. All the time. And that's when you get, I'm going to use the word grunts. So, you know, just your normal everyday enemies in the boss fight with you. So
And you don't like that?
I don't like that, because I'm trying to focus on this boss, you know, and he can deal, let's say he can deal some massive damage. I'm trying to focus on him, and when I'm trying to do something, I then get hit by a grunt behind me or something, which then makes me stumble. And then I just get... it kind of piles on from there.
Yeah, but I suppose it's adding more interest kind of thing. That's what I was saying about like the time. If there's other stuff happening, like I can take a break from the boss for a bit, go fight some other people around. I think I would prefer that. I think I don't mind that too much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's fair enough. I mean, it's always been something I've really disliked. I've always been one of these guys that when I'm in a boss fight, I want to fight this boss. I don't want to have to worry about silly little bastards getting in my way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I wanna fight this boss. I want to take this boss down. It's me versus him. You know, I'm that kind of guy when it comes to boss fights.
Yeah, I get that.
So when I then start getting piled on by grunts who are just stopping me from doing what I want to do, I'm just kind of like, oh my goodness. Like, I start to get really frustrated by it.
But I suppose that can also go back to the length of time that it goes on for. If you don't have them kind of interfering in the fight and coming in, obviously you'd kill the boss a lot quicker, and it might not be as good of a fight.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
Whereas that's kind of dragging out the time, so...
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point. What are we doing? Extracting a hostage?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's one that's slightly similar but a bit different. What about when the boss fight is two bosses at once? So rather than loads of little grunts, you've just got... your boss fight is actually you've got to take care of two big dudes at once.
Yeah, I don't like that.
A prime example of a good one, and I think a lot of people like this one, is Dark Souls 1. You got Dragon Slayer, Ornstein, and Smaug. Smaug. I'm going to say Smaug.
Yeah.
Basically, it's this boss fight where the Dragon Slayer is like sort of just a regular kind of dude in this awesome armor and a spear. And he is crazy quick. And then Smaug is this slow lumbering guy.
Right.
With a massive hammer.
There's more up there.
Yeah, there is.
Oh wait, I'm Twitch.
Ah, cheers. So yeah, and that is quite a staple in Dark Souls. People who have played Dark Souls know that boss fight. And the thing is, like, so you're trying to take one down, but you've got to obviously be careful of the other.
Yeah.
And the way they kind of done it, obviously you've got one quick and one slow. So it's quite difficult to just focus on one and dodge the other. And then what they do is they make it so that when you kill one, the other one absorbs its power and becomes big and hench and a bit crazy.
Ooh.
So it's almost like a two-stage boss fight in a way. Like, not only do they start you off with two, they're then like, okay, now you've killed one, the other one now gets even more hench.
That's interesting.
Which I suppose brings us on to another one. What about stages in boss fights? You know, like forms. Like, you think you've beaten it, and then suddenly it's like, huh, this isn't even my final form.
Again, I take that back to length of time I have been fighting. If it's been going on a while, and then suddenly the boss is like, woo, look at my new form, now I'm even more powerful and you gotta beat me again. I don't really like that.
That's fair enough.
But I do think that's cool when that happens, like you get a bit more out of it, some things might change kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point. Okay, here's a big one. Do you think that there should be a connection between the boss that you're fighting and the character who you're playing as, sort of storyline wise? Like, has this person killed your family? Is it your dad? Do you think that's a necessity in a good boss fight?
Yes.
Yeah? Do you think that adds to a good boss fight?
I want to know why I'm killing this boss, not just because it's like a monster or something. Like I want it to be part of the storyline. I want to know what's happened, why I'm killing it, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, once again, I'm going to bring up Dark Souls on this one again, because Dark Souls has got some epic boss fights.
Hmm.
But now the lore of Dark Souls is very hidden. Like, you get told a little bit at the beginning, but the rest is found in working out what people say and item descriptions, little snippets from item descriptions.
Okay.
So I did find this with Dark Souls, unfortunately, because I agree with you. I like there to be some connection between who you're playing as and the boss you're fighting. It makes
Yeah.
it feel more satisfying.
Yeah.
And this was probably one of my biggest issues with Dark Souls, was that when you're playing through, you don't feel that connection. It's just another big monster. Like, you still
Hmm.
feel like you're fighting pretty awesome because you're fighting a big monster, and there's some epic fights. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slating it on that sort of front. But when you've killed it, you're like, yes, this guy's dead. I've killed this guy. I've got this boss soul. Awesome. But it's just kind of like, it's just a monster. Like,
Exactly.
I've been told I need these souls, but I have no connection. Like, this boss didn't kill my family. This boss isn't my dad. Like, little things like that. So it does just kind of feel like I'm running through the motions of, I gotta kill this thing.
Yeah, you're just doing it for the sake of it, kind of thing, when it
Yeah.
really is playing no role in like your character's life or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, here's the one. Do you believe a boss should follow a pattern, like the way it fights? Like, should its moves always follow the same pattern? Someone's left.
Oh, that's annoying. Not necessarily. I feel like it's obviously going to make it harder if the boss is unpredictable. But you kind of don't want it to be just like this pattern that you can learn and then just take down easy.
Yeah. I
You want
mean,
that bit of a challenge.
a good example of bosses not following a pattern
Uh-huh.
is Ninja Gaiden. However you say it, Ninja Gaiden games are notoriously difficult. They are known for being difficult.
Uh-huh.
And one of the bosses in one of the Ninja Gaiden games is called Alma.
Right.
And she is known for being solid, like solid. You have to die to get anywhere. Like, it's like most people quite often say, it's nigh on impossible to defeat her on your first go. Like,
Yeah.
because she does not follow a pattern, and she does not. She also doesn't telegraph her moves.
Yeah.
So you have to be on it with like reaction and things like that.
Right, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I would agree with you. Like, I don't feel. Ah, damn it! Just walked into a bomb. So annoying. I agree with you. Like, I don't like it when a boss is too patternized.
Yeah.
You know, I like it when there's a bit of difficulty, a bit of strategy, and as I was saying, like, you need to be able to react, kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah. But I do like a good boss fight.
I just shot that guy in the booty.
Oh, booty shooting, booty shooting. Okay, last one on the boss fights then.
Go on then.
Diffuser planted. Defended from enemy action.
Do you feel a boss is better when it has a weak spot?
45 seconds left.
Again, I don't think that would really matter to me. Like, either way, I don't think I'd really care.
No?
I mean, I suppose it makes it easier
Seconds.
to know where to go for what you're doing, kind of thing. Oh.
Has located the diffuser.
Behind you.
We have been
That was a tough one.
Okay. Yeah, how do you feel about that then?
I sometimes really think it adds. Prime example would be Monster Hunter. Like you can hit it anywhere, but you can get more damage when you sort of break certain bits off and things like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes it really adds to sort of, it's not just a case of here's a boss, hack at it anywhere kind of thing.
Yeah, like you got to plan it more.
Yeah,
where
you've got
you're
to
gonna
think, right, I got to get to this spot on this boss.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can't really do anything. So you've then got to dodge and weave round its attacks to get to particular spots, kind of thing. So I quite enjoy it when they do that.
No, yeah, I get that.
Sometimes I do enjoy a boss that I can just, I just want to hack and slash at, and just feel like an epic man. But I just feel that it's sometimes just a bit nicer just to have that spot and have to really sort of plan yourself a bit more, be a bit more in and out, be a bit more patient, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that actually.
And I mean, the last thing I would say, something that makes a good boss battle is a satisfying win.
Yeah.
Like, when you win, it has to feel satisfying, whether that be whatever you're fighting explodes, that's always satisfying. Whether it like makes out some horrific scream or shriek if it's some kind of monster or something, I feel like if it's going to be a good boss battle, it has to feel satisfying, especially if it's a difficult one. I don't want to spend ages struggling on a boss for it to then like let out a whimper and fade away.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I want it to feel like I have actually accomplished something.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably the last thing I would say on this one. Definitely. Definitely. Right, let's make this the last game then, because we're coming. Been a bit of a long one today, guys. Sorry, but boss battles, they're a big thing in games. They're in most games. Some games are completely based around boss battles, so I thought it'd be a good thing to talk about. I think we've gone over quite a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, guys at home, let us know in the comments, what do you guys think makes a good boss battle? Is it the atmosphere? Is it that satisfying win? Do you prefer them to be more difficult and you have to plan, hit certain spots, react? Or do you prefer just to be able to go in, swing around and just get the attacks in? Like, let us know in the comments. I'll be fascinated to hear what you guys have to think on that one. I'm down. I did not do well there.
Oh no.
Yeah, I played really badly there. That was my own fault. No, don't blow up next to me. Oh, thank goodness for that. So, quick bit of gaming news. Bit of news for the game world. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about this, but South Park, the fractured butthole, has got a new release date, which is nice. It's now due to be released on October 17th, 2017. It was originally, as people know, meant to be released in September 2016, but it got held, in December 2016, but in September they decided to push it back, because they didn't feel that it was ready, which I personally respect quite a lot. I think that's good. Like, they want it to be the game that everyone's expecting, so they have said, do you know what, we need more time on this. And I think that's good, the fact that they've actually, instead of just making up something like, oh, it's not the right time, or, something's gone wrong somewhere, them actually just sitting there and going, we don't think it's good enough yet, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's awesome that they've actually said that. Unfortunately, it was meant to be released January, March. Of course, it then got held back again. And yeah, so now it's going to be released October 17th. Now, I don't know about if you played it, Jamie. You didn't, did you? The first game, Stick of Truth?
I did not.
I did, and I loved it. I thought it was a brilliant game. It had all that South Park humour. It had loads of little bits to sort of point to South Park. All the little, what are they called? What are they called, Jamie?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
References, loads of references to like the
yeah.
show and things. I can't believe I couldn't think of that word. Which I absolutely loved. I thought it was hilarious. It was that RPG fashion, sort of, and it was going around sort of like Game of Thronesy, Lord of Rings, kind of, you know, your mages, your wizards, your warriors, all that kind of class kind of system, a turn-based combat, and I thought it was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. And the next one, for anyone who doesn't know, is going to be based around superheroes.
Ooh.
Which I think is going to be brilliant. So they're all going to be reprising their superhero roles from the superhero episodes of South Park, which is cool, like Mysterion and Kite Man and things like that, which I think is going to be brilliant. And I think it's meant to be a bit of bit of fun being poked out of the fact that obviously you've got all the superhero films coming out and come out, like you've got all the DC films, all the Marvel films. So I think it's meant to be poking fun at sort of all that coming out, which I think is going to be a really good game, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's another game I'm definitely going to be getting, and will definitely play, definitely.
Yeah.
So that will be good. So yeah, I mean we're going to end it there. It's gone on for a bit of a long one. Sorry about that today. But yeah, so thank you very much, Jamie, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And yeah, let us know in the comments what you think, guys. Don't forget to give us a like, share, and subscribe. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Take it easy, guys.